The Jedi thought they had won. After a century of blood and alchemical nightmares, the 100-year darkness had finally come to an end at the Battle of Corbos. But the Jedi Order made a choice that would haunt the galaxy for 7 millennia. They chose mercy over execution. They marched 12 high-ranking Dark Jedi, the leaders of the rebellion, onto an unarmed galleon and cast them into the unknown regions. They hoped the vacuum of space would claim them. Instead, they found a throne. Greetings, my fellow scruffy-looking Nerf Herders, and welcome back to the Infernal Brotherhood. Today we are profiling the man who bridged the gap between fallen Jedi and Sith Lord. His name was Ajunta Pall. He was a master, a general, and a god king. We're going to look at his rise on Korriban, his founding of the first Sith Empire, and the tragic irony of his final resting place. Pull up a chair. We're diving deep into the shadow of the first Jedi. Before the war, Ajunta Pall was a highly respected human Jedi master. He was a scholar who pushed the boundaries of the Force, specifically in the forbidden realm of alchemy. Pall discovered the secret to literally shaping and creating life, a power that Jedi High Council viewed as a direct abomination of the Force's will. When the Council barred his teachings, Pall didn't just walk away. He took his followers and declared war. As a high general during the 100-year darkness, he was legendary and lethal, personally slaying over a dozen Jedi during the final stand at Corbos. Even in defeat, he remained defiant. When he was loaded into the exile galleon, he wasn't a broken man, he was a conqueror looking for a new world. The journey of the Exiles was not an aimless drift. Guided by the brilliant, ruthless alchemist Sorzu's Sin, who had spent years tracking rumors of an ancient kingdom of the Sith, the 12 Dark Jedi navigated the treacherous Stygian caldera. They emerged from the dust clouds to find Korriban. The world was harsh, red, and primitive, but it was pulsing with the dark side. Upon landing, the Exiles encountered the native Sith species. To the Sith, these visitors, with their shining lightsabers and mastery of the Force, were the manifestation of their gods. Specifically, the priest caste, the Kisai, believed Ajunta Pall was the physical return of Typhagem, the left-handed god. The conquest of Korriban wasn't just a display of brute force, it was a masterclass in Sith manipulation. The reigning Sith king, Hakagram Grouch, was not easily impressed. However, Ajunta Pall was smarter. He identified the king's shadow hand, his second in command, and promised him power. With the shadow hand's betrayal, the palace gates were opened. In a moment, that would define the Sith transition. Ajunta Pall personally beheaded King Grouch with his own sword. The message was clear. The old ways of Korriban were dead. The era of the Jedi, the Dark Lord, had begun. As the first Dark Lord of the Sith, Pall didn't just rule, he transformed his subjects. He established his citadel on the cold world of Ziost and began a process that changed the galaxy forever. Using his knowledge of alchemy, he and the other exiles began blending their own human DNA with that of the Sith species. This created a new hybrid lineage, where Sith no longer just meant a species, but a rank and an ideology. However, not all exiles were content. Some grew impatient and tried to return to the Republic's space within the first year to seek revenge. This premature attack was a failure, but it alerted the Jedi that the exiles had not only survived, they had built an empire. Perhaps the most powerful part of Pall's story happens nearly 3,000 years after his death, during the Jedi Civil War. The hero, or villain, Revan, entered Pall's tomb in the Valley of the Dark Lords. There, he found the spirit of the first Dark Lord, bound to the physical world by his own alchemical ties. But Pall was not the proud conqueror he once was. He was a ghost, filled with agonizing regret. He watched for centuries as his successors murdered each other, proving that the Sith philosophy of survival of the fittest only led to a cycle of self-destruction. In one of the most significant moments in Star Wars Legends, Revan convinced the first Dark Lord to let go of his hate. Ajunta Pall finally turned back to the light, becoming one with the Force and leaving the Sith path behind forever. Ajunta Pall's life is a warning. He achieved everything a Darksider could want: an empire, godhood, and eternal life through alchemy. And yet, in the end, he realized he had betrayed everything that truly mattered. If you enjoyed this look at the first Gen RE, make sure to like and subscribe to the Brotherhood. Tell me in the comments, do you think the Sith would have been more successful if they had followed Paul's more cautious approach, or was their eventual infighting inevitable? Thank you to my creator patrons Aaron Hardy and D. Robert Handy, developer patrons Chris Androu and Sam Ruiz, and all of our YouTube members. Until we convene again, my fellow scruffy-looking Nerf Herders, may the Force be with you.